All right, time for another back test. This one is for the month of April. Since we're in May, we're going to back test April, starting this month in May. And this one is on a channel called The King of Forex, and I think they even have it trademarked, which I find amusing. Um, Format is pretty good. That's a nice format for a copier. These animated emojis, they can cause issues. So if you were to follow follow a channel like this using a copier, you want to turn off animated emojis because it'll interfere with the interpretation of the terms. Uh, and then, replies like this, of course, you're going to want to ignore. If you're using a copier, you want to ignore a reply like this. Right, because this looks like a trade to the copier. So you want to tell the copier, ignore it if it has this term in it, like hit or pips or any of the, any sort of common denominator. Um, but having said that, let's take a look at the results. And like I always do, start with a $10,000 account. And 0.1 size lots, no real, I don't use like trailing stop loss or anything like that. I just use something that's repeatable and simple, because you don't want to, when you back test something, you don't want to you don't want to curve fit. In other words, like you just keep making tweaks to find the most optimal outcome. And sometimes that doesn't really work when you try to translate it to the real world. So, yeah, we try to keep the methodology simple. So you can see it lost $775. It's about almost 8% for the month. And here's our steady march down, our steady slope downward. Looks like they trade pretty much all sessions. Asia and Europe are the heaviest, and then it looks like some U.S. even later in the day, U.S. Trades on the U.S. session. Statistical scattering of wins and losses. You can see that our losses tend to cluster around this area. There's quite a bit more of them than wins. This channel is all Forex, right? So ideally, well, I guess here we have some gold too, but it is the Forex king, right? So probably if assuming this channel had performance that you liked, if you like losing money, and you wanted to follow this, you would want to pair it with a channel that doesn't trade currency, or maybe where the trades are not so correlated, especially with gold, because it seems like a lot of people that trade gold are trading supply and demand zones. And a lot of times you just get like just a bunching of trades. Even, like when you follow a whole bunch of channels, especially ones that trade gold, you'll find that oftentimes they all will send their signals out all at the same time, and oftentimes they're similar. Sometimes they're just flat out copies of each other, and you can tell. But other times they're, the pricing is slightly different, but you can tell that they build their system on, a supply and demand zone. So, yeah, there you have it, the king of Forex.